Psst, psst. You. Hey, you. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Are you tired of the same old podcasts with the same old panels and the same old rhetoric? So am I. So come spend time with me, where you can have a laugh, be entertained, and learn something. I'm your host, Nova, and welcome to School of Thought. Class is in session. Well, welcome, everybody, to School of Thought. Thank you for joining the teacher. She's very happy that you're all here on this 9 p.m. Monday evening stream. We've got something special. Something completely different. Oh my goodness, we're going to go to the moon. Has anybody ever heard that terminology before? Well, if you're a crypto type person, then you have, because now is the time we're going into another bull run. Yes, Bitcoin is looking wonderful, and so are some of her little baby altcoins. I'm going to be showing us a delectable 3 different videos, stuff that has to do with our economy, and better yet, on this Bitcoin and bull run that we're going to be moving into. We're going to be having 2 panelist guests with us today, 2 financial advisors, Sean Wieland, and we've got Bandit. But in the meantime, let's get a little bit of an edumacation, shall we, boys and girls? Let's remember, though, here at School of Thought, that I am not a professional financial advisor. These are just my opinions, and what me and my crew do at School of Thought is not expert advice, but we are heavily invested here, especially in Cardano ADA. Yes, baby, we sure are. So there's other terminologies like HODL, which means like hold your bag. So for all of you who are new to crypto, this would be the best time, because we're going to go into the very simplistics and some of the lingo, because you know why? Different spaces have different lingo. So HODL, hold your bag, baby. Weak hands. That equals somebody who basically screws themselves, and you sell and you panic when the markets start going down. Never do that. Always do something called DCA, dollar cost averaging, so you can get your high end when you invest too high, and you can actually lower it by doing incremental investments. Diamond hands means everything you touch is wonderful, baby. You're going diamond. Every place has their own lingo, right? And just like when they say we're going parabolic, that comes from the stock markets. When that stock goes straight up, it's no different. So let's look, buckle up, because history is full of twists and turns and market mayhem that could rival the classic political economic question. What happens to markets when Republicans take roller coaster at the Wall Street theme park? Let's break it down when they take office. Number 1, historical trends post-Republican elections. First, let's zoom out a bit and look at the broader picture. In theory, Republicans tend to advocate for, lower taxes, less regulation, more laissez-faire approach to the economy. This generally makes the markets happy. Investors tend to like the idea of keeping more of their profits and dealing with fewer bureaucratic hurdles. But history is more nuanced than a bumper sticker slogan, right? We've got the Ronald Reagan terms, right, in the 80s, which also led to the S&P 500 growth, and the Bush Jr. terms to John rubber baby buggy bumpers. Hi, let me get that pulled out of the knot hole backwards. Bush Jr. terms, and then the Donald Trump terms and his accomplishments. Those are all Republicans in the last 20 and 30 years, right? But what's next for those markets? If Trump or another Republican would win again, and like right now he has, and the economy swings into a new period of prosperity, my oh my, you might see another stock market surge, which I do believe you're right at the beginning of seeing. How long can it last? Today's stock market was already starting to go up. A little bit of my Tesla stock has went up. No giving advice, just telling you some things I've done. And let's see. How long can it last? Markets love certainty, but also they hate unpredictability. And if there's one thing that any Republican administration can be counted on to provide, it's plenty of uncertainty. Not always a bad thing, but it keeps us all on our toes, right? So today, let's delve into the basics of crypto's exciting world, and we'll make that kind of quick. But first, let's check back with our audience. We got Uncle Guns in the house. We have Romano Production, Spittlebuggy, Michael Horsley, and we've got Self-Made, and we've got anybody else. I know Trippy is definitely lurking about. All right, let's get going. So, cryptocurrency is like digital money, right, children, boys and girls? But instead of being printed or controlled by a bank, it exists purely online and is managed by a network of computers around the world. Here's an easy way to understand it. Digital cash image, having digital cash that you can send directly to someone online, similarly to an email. A wallet address also, without needing a bank in between. Blockchain technology, cryptocurrencies are based on a technology called blockchain, which is also like a public record book or digital ledger. For all you accountants out there, it's basically like a paper ledger in a digital format. Every transaction, like sending or receiving money, is recorded here, and many computers keep copies of this ledger, which makes it very secure and difficult to tamper with. Decentralization. No single company or government controls cryptocurrency. It's decentralized, meaning that people around the world share responsibility for verifying and recording transactions. Value and use. Like money, people can use cryptocurrency to buy things or invest in it. The value of it depends on how much people are willing to pay for it. The prices can change a lot based on demand. Bitcoin and altcoins. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency and still the most well-known. And dare I say, most of the altcoins base itself off of its own performance. I could be a little wrong, but it seems to go that way. Other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, Ripple, Litecoin are also called altcoins. In short, cryptocurrency is a new form of digital money that people can use and trade online without traditional banks. It's still evolving, and it can be complex, but offers a new way to exchange value globally. Now let's bring up Bandit and Sean. Hi, gentlemen. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. Did you guys have anything interesting that you wanted to add about the cryptocurrency markets?
Hey, Sean, you can go first.
Sean,
Okay.
Are you there? Bandit?
I'm here. So think of the reason why it was created. It was mostly created to be a hedge against inflation. So when countries decide to print extra money, your money becomes worthless. So as more money is created, the less the money's worth. So in the past, we used to use things like gold and silver to maintain value. So in the 1800s, a silver coin could buy you a really nice dinner worth about $30. Today, that silver coin is probably worth about $120, which now can get you a pretty good meal. Back in the day, a gold coin was worth about which you can get a really nice suit, about $100. Today, that same coin is worth about $1,800. So you could buy a nice suit for $1,800. So if you look at gold and silver, they've always hold their value. And between now and when the country started, the dollar's lost between 97 and 99% of its value. So this is why this was created, because you're worried about governments losing control.
That's right.
And there's only so much gold and silver to go around. So how else can we hold value? And we wanted a marketplace where we can actually track things digitally without having to deal with governments. So that's why the main reason why crypto started to kick off.
That's right. We have a video. We have a video stating Bitcoin is just the beginning. So what I figured we would all be watching some of that, and then we'll make comments in between.
Sure.
Okay. Let's also say hi to the chat one more time. Decentralized, good to have you in. Michael Horsley, careful, Nova. Careful of what? My, what did I do? Anyways, let's get this started.
Okay, so Bitcoin just broke $85,000 as I am recording this right now. And I'm going to tell you now that, guys, we could see $100,000 literally any minute now. It's even possible you wake up tomorrow and we are at $100,000. Look at this. We're now breaking out again. Like, we've been breaking out constantly for like hours already. But I want to talk about this and what we can do to make sure we extract money from the market. So personally, I've opened up so many positions right now. As I showed you earlier today, look at this, all of these positions. If you haven't seen my video earlier from today, you have to go and watch it, because I show you all of the profits, and I just added more to my Ethereum position right now. So my Ethereum position, my Bitcoin position, all of them I've increased in the past few hours here. And let me come back to Bitcoin in a minute. First, I want to talk about Dogecoin, because I think Dogecoin is what everyone is talking about right now. Let me go to the 4-hour time frame. Look at this, absolutely skyrocketing. And I'm very happy to tell you guys that the trade we made together here is massively profitable. Remember, we opened up this trade here, Dogecoin. It's a $600,000 trade. We are now up $500,000. Look at that. Can you see that? We made $500,000 on this Dogecoin trade over on Bybit. Don't forget to sign.
Do we have any Dogecoin investors in the house? If you do, type 1 in the chat. Bandit, do you have any Doge?
No, I do not.
I used to have Doge. I sold it off on the last really big one. Is Sean back? I'm going to say no, he's not.
Sign up to Bybit, by the way, with my link. With my link, you also get a special bonus. So, but anyways, Dogecoin is exploding, and I think we're gonna keep pumping here. We added our position down here, and of course now we're up there. But if you zoom out on the weekly, you can see that we're not even close to the all-time high yet. Look at that. Dogecoin could go much higher. So I think I'm gonna make millions of dollars on this position. But right now we're basically up 500,000 or 1,200% in profits, guys. This is the beginning of the bull market, and if you still don't have a Bybit account or a Bitflix account, then you have to ask yourself, do you even like money? Because this is becoming crazy now, absolutely crazy. My account 3-4 days ago was $10 million. Now it's 15 million. My account grew 5 million in literally 2-3 days. Insane, guys, absolutely insane. And that's from 5 million. I deposited only $4 or $5 million to this account. Now it's already tripled, and I'm gonna make this into 100 million. That's for sure. 100%, it's gonna be 100 million in like 6 months from now. I'm very sure about that. And if you guys want to join me on that journey to like 10x our accounts, just subscribe to this channel right now and sign up to Bybit in this immediate short term, because otherwise you are missing out on massive profits. What else do we have here? I mean, we opened up so many positions. I also opened up positions on Sui, which is right now also exploding. We made $60,000 since I think it was 2 days ago, yesterday. Absolutely incredible. Look, we just opened it up right there, but already profitable. Literally everything.
My gosh, I wish I had $4 million to invest on that.
Yeah, so the key thing is, I mean, if you're going to talk about basic finance, you buy low, sell high.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also when do you buy and how much is it worth? Because if you're buying something at pennies and you can sell it for dollars, the amount of money you can throw at the shares, meaning how many ones that you actually have, impacts the growth as well. So it's not just throwing money at it, it's seeing how many you can get at a certain price and what is the growth. So you can see here it's almost like a straight line going up. The growth is insane, but it's also unrealized gains. So what that means is until you sell it, this is just monopoly money. So that's the key thing, is you need to know when to sell, because at this point, it's just numbers on a sheet. until you sell, and then the money becomes realized, where it can be taxed and it can be earned, it can be moved around. Right now, it's just in the certain stock that he has, or I'm sorry, the certain crypto that he has. So the key thing here is when stuff's fluctuating a lot and you see, oh my God, I'm negative so much money. Well, technically you're not, because you haven't sold it yet. Once you sell it, you'll lock it in. And that's
True.
what you gain or you lose.
Very true. Thank you for that explanation.
Yeah.
That's very helpful, especially to people who are new to finance. There could be some, like 17 or 18-year-olds who are new to this. There could be older people who've also never bothered with it before. So I think it's very helpful. Let's read Shane's comment. He says, only, say it with respect, $100 million, Gary Oldman's voice.
Everything we touch now turns to gold. Cardano also, look at that. On Cardano, we made $380,000. Literally every position I make turns into gold because it's a bull market. I told you guys also on the Moon Show like 2 days ago, you don't even have to be smart right now. It's a bull market, meaning that even a monkey could make money now. Like what I'm doing now, it looks like I'm a genius, but actually it's just a bull market. Give any person a Bybit account in a bull market and they will make a lot of money. The only thing I did very well was I waited 3 years for this moment. I didn't open up trades until 2 months ago. That's when I started to open up big trades, and like 2 weeks ago I completely 10x'd everything. Yeah, long story short, guys, like we are killing it now because we're timing the cycle. Timing the cycle is everything in crypto, and I'm going all in right now. Like I'm all in Bitcoin, I'm all in Ethereum, I am all in on Dogecoin and Shiba. I have so many trades open right now, and I truly hope that you are also right now jumping into these trades, because in the next 6 months Bitcoin will go to 300k at least, meaning that all these other positions are going to absolutely explode and making you very, very wealthy. And
I'll take that,
if you want to
sir.
be wealthy, then take my advice here. If you don't want to be wealthy,
I'll take that forecasting of a prophecy over my life.
So
yes.
the industry phrase, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Excellent. Okay, I'm glad we got that fixed.
Glad you're back.
Thank you. So the industry phrase for this is flows over pros, which is that, yeah, basically the supply of money and credit is what drives a market like this. And for anybody new to this, it's not like he has some magical insight. It's just anybody can look up the stock to flow ratio chart.
Yes.
Sometimes it's called the rainbow chart. And yeah, I mean, if anything, it's been kind of delayed. It seems like it's being kicked off for political reasons, or the politics behind the kind of the emotional animal spirits behind this. But yeah, this had been expected for a while, that we should be entering in the next cycle based on the money flows.
And are you excited about it?
Yeah.
I am too.
I think it's like, I mean, so at the same time, right? It's all asset speculation, and I guess the West or modern civilization is addicted to this. It's kind of the get rich quick scheme mentality. This is what JD Vance was talking about, that this is kind of our version of the resource curse, is that everybody puts all of their money into crypto or publicly traded stocks or real estate. But the way they're trying to get rich is from speculation rather than investing in things that actually increase our productivity. So while I'm excited to see a bull market cycle go, I'm a fan of the critics say, crypto makes all the wrong people rich. There's a lot of people in the managerial state or managerial elite who would like to be gatekeepers of who's allowed to be successful and who's not. They trade that as political favors, and because this is outside of that system, this does empower people who can make real changes to have the resources to actually affect those changes. So that I'm very excited about. At the same time, it is degenerate gambling as well. Like, it's not healthy in the long run.
It's all gambling is even stocks. I mean, let's be realistic.
Right. Yeah. That's my point. Is whether it's real estate or stocks or you know your IRA, retirement plan, or your 401k they tell you to participate in at work, that's all degenerate gambling.
It is. It's just legal. Winning.
Or encouraged is the really
Yes,
scary part of that.
winning. We need to be holding up our signs and blowing our little horns and confetti coming out.
The thing is, most of it you need to mediate risk, because I mean, on the flip side of investing, we're seeing all the positive stuff. So the negative stuff would be, how do I mediate all these risks? Well, you can invest in the multiple things. You don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. So
True.
You want to spread it out between different coins or different stocks. You want to pick different industries. You want to be calculated growth. You don't want to, because if you miss this, say you fall asleep and this goes up, and then I wake up tomorrow and it loses 500% for some stupid reason.
It happened to me.
It can happen to anybody.
It happened to me.
I can't believe it went up this much in just the past day. Like, I don't track this stuff that closely, and I'm like, oh, I'm
this weekend's
$100,000. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, there went my 10K. Oops,
So
gone.
The thing is, if you recognize stuff that's going on, you have to pay attention. Because no one's going to hold your feet to the fire. If you miss it, you miss it. It's over. So you have to make sure you're paying attention, and you got to have a strategy. Now there's things that you could put in place, like you could put calls and puts in, which basically prevents it'll auto sell at certain benchmarks that you decide, or sell when it's high. So say the stock say the coin goes up to, it started at 50 and you want to sell it at 75. Once it hits 75, you can put something in and it'll automatically sell. So
True.
You're not going to get the high range, but you're going to get realized gains. Or if you're worried that it's going to sell off and you're going to lose a lot of money, you can say, at 45, I want it to sell, so I'm only losing 5. So you can mediate your losses. So that's important
as best you can. Yeah. There's always going to be some loss.
That comes back to diversification too. Now, the thing people need to keep in mind there is that most assets, so really you have to think of it either as risk on or risk off, or whether it's a you're longing the economic cycle or shorting it. So a lot of assets that people think diversify actually don't. Stocks, bonds, crypto, real estate are all long on the economy assets. They're all basically going to go up together. I mean, like this guy is saying, is like, you could put your money in anything and basically it's going to go up because the money flow is, the tide's coming in. The real way that you have to diversify in your life is to then hold assets that are short on the economy that will do well when all of those other assets are performing poorly. And that's the part that most people are bad at. One, because they're not educated on how to do that. And two, by definition, they're harder assets to get into. They're usually more illiquid. They're more esoteric. You kind of have to go out of your way to find them, because what drives this boom cycle is how easy it is to get into these positions.
I have a question for you. For you guys before we start the video again. Well, so starting with you, Sean, what coins are you invested in? What crypto do you currently possess?
So I'm not going to go into my personal.
Sure. Just like a couple generalities.
Yeah. So I am very skeptical of the shit coins, basically. So the ones that have a definite use case and have been pretty well established, such as Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you're going to be in the crypto space at all, that's a relatively safe place. These other things that people jump into, the shit coins where something like a rug pull is just way too easy, or they're not really diversifying their use case, right? So like Bitcoin as a store of value, of a remittance system, helping to bank the unbanked, it has use cases that make sense. Ethereum has the whole, it's what underpins DeFi. It's basically units of computing power that you're buying and leasing out to people. That, and so many other projects are then built on Ethereum, that even though it's not fixed in supply algorithmically the way that Bitcoin is, the use case is there that it should have deflationary pressure. Then outside of that, a lot of it seems to be around decreasing the cost of transactions, or trying to have alternatives to staking or proof of work, or what your mechanism is to verify transactions. But there's been a lot of issues with those two. They've had issues where they haven't been vetted, or they've had some fatal flaw that then has, cratered. I'm trying to think of the one that was a big deal like a year or two ago. But yeah, the point. Say that again.
Bankman-Fried.
No. I mean, this was like, it was listed on Coinbase even. I'll look it up. But the point is this, I know that there's people feel a strong incentive to just kind of jump into anything because it is that boom cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You still need to do your homework and understand how these pieces of code are actually written. If you're going to get involved with this, you got to do your homework. I guess is all I'm really saying. Like I'm going to it with a whole lot of skepticism because it is a new asset class. It's changing extremely rapidly. And I know people have a lot of FOMO of, well, I don't understand this, but I need to get in now because it just, went up 300% or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's also a great way to bankrupt yourself, or treat it only with money that you feel comfortable losing. That it is degenerate gambling, as we said.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. So buyer beware. So Bandit, what about you? Do you have anything on your portfolio that you don't mind sharing, or any also shit coins you also don't mind sharing?
I personally did exactly what Sean was doing. I threw $600, nothing big, and said, you know what? I'm going to try AMP. If I lose it, whoop de freaking do. You know what I mean? Is it going to hurt? Does it mean I can't go to the casino for a couple weeks? Okay, that's fine. But the way I see it, sometimes you got to take that risk, and sometimes you just got to trust your gut.
I know.
The thing is, and I can't stress this enough, any time of investing is over and beyond what you need to survive. You're not playing You're not playing how can I not gas my car up to spend $60 on stocks. That's not how.
No, you got to be smart about it.
You got to be smart. So there's multiple reasons why you want to do something like that. Psychologically, if you lose the money, you're not going to be like really messing yourself up because like I sacrificed, not being able to do what I wanted because I wanted to do this, and it allows you to be immaterial on your decisions because you want to take the emotions out of it. You want to be as logical as humanly possible. You don't want to look at, I should hold on to this and I might get an extra $2. Who cares? You need to take those gains and losses. You may wait for $2, not sell it, go to sleep, and then it drops, and then you just lost everything. So the key thing is always take money that you don't need to survive. This is over and beyond what you need.
Yeah, you don't want to take money from your own mouth and your own family's mouth. You want to use disposable income as much as possible, everyone, and be smart about it. So Bandit, what about you? Are you also well invested in Cardano? Give me your thoughts on that before we continue the video.
I'm in Cardano. The way I look at it is, at this point, when I bought it at and where it's at now, it doesn't owe me anything. I'm already good. So in a sense, the way I look at it is, let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. If it drops to a certain percentage points, I have stuff in place that I would at least take a positive out of it. Would it be as much as I want? If something bad happens, probably not. But
yeah, of course not.
I'll be taking a profit, and that's the important thing. You want to take the emotions out of it.
I was a perfect example of what you guys were talking about. I got in because of, like, say, fanboys all cheering on certain coins, but the problem is there's a lot of danger behind meme coins, and one of them is the pump and dump. That's number one. And then the other one is the platforms, the wallets and things that you get invested in. I had 3 of the wallets that I had closed on me. And so I lost all of those gains. And I was also asleep the night it crashed. So, talk about kicking myself in the ass, because I was over 25K up, so like, I was kicking myself in the butt the whole time afterwards. So beware, everyone.
That's why you always should put calls and puts on your stuff, so you can at least take some gain, Even
Yeah,
though
I didn't know how to do that, and I had too many stupid platforms that I was spread across, so here at School of Thought, we definitely we want to put out there Coinbase is very, very secure, and their wallet also. Let's address the chat and then get right back to the video. Hey, Liam, nice to have you. We're glad to have you here. Anyone else here? If you're lurking about, please remember to like and subscribe and help out School of Thought.
Coffee, then I cannot really help you at that point, So look at this. What else can we take a look at? Look at this. We have so many nice trades open. We also have a trade open on Pepe, I believe. Actually, no. Did it? Oh, maybe we didn't have Pepe.
I welcomed in Romano Productions earlier. I got you. Oh, wait. May as well. Spittlebuggy, the wallet system needs to be redone. Yes. And also, if you lose all of your keywords and stuff like that, you're really up the creek without a paddle.
Should we have a Pepe trade open, maybe? Feel a bit FOMO. Let's see. I'll think about Pepe. What else we have? We have XRP. This is an interesting one. So many people are asking me about XRP, and I did open up a $1.5 million trade on XRP. But as of right now, it's still kind of break even, so not much happened with the XRP yet, but I think that XRP at some point is also going to explode here. That's why I opened up this position, and I will keep it open. I don't care, it will be fine. What else can we look at here? We opened up also a trade on, well, actually my Ethereum trade is up $1.2 million in profits, guys. 1.2 million in profit.
Uncle Guns is doing the I'm a sleep face, and I'm bored off my rear end. Uncle Guns, don't be mad, but Self-Made told you to invest and buy in. I'm just being facetious.
Yeah. If I didn't give you enough reasons to open up a Bybit account today, then what can I possibly do? And you don't even have to deposit so much to Bybit, only $100. That's all you need to get your first initial bonus. And then you can use that to open up trades. But 2 weeks from now, it might be too late. That's why I would urge you to open up your account right now, because when Bitcoin breaks above 100K, it's going to be harder to make these positions, because then we're already quite high, and then you get a 20% retracement and you get liquidated. That's why it's better to open up these positions now. And if you already have positions, you can make them bigger right now. That's what I've done. I've basically increased all of my positions so that they are now bigger. But speaking of XRP here, XRP has a very, very interesting line right here. If we break this line, or when we break this line, XRP is going to break out, that's for sure. And remember, I don't like XRP, I don't care about XRP, but I trade it to make money, right? That's what I do. I love to trade these things. And right now we're just making, it seems like almost too much money. I mean, it should be almost, is it legal to make this much money, guys? It's just insane. I don't even know where to begin here. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Now, I am preparing a big...
Well, it's not illegal to make money, at least not yet, right? No, just kidding.
Video where I'm going to talk more about altcoins, because I've also bought some altcoins on spot. Let me know in the comments right now, what is your favorite altcoin? Because I actually want to buy whatever you guys like. So let me know in the comments what's your favorite altcoin. The most upvoted altcoins, I will most likely put 100K into each and every one of them. And let's talk about something else which is very, very bullish. Let me show you like this. Go to MEE. And then we can see here that Medieval Empires today is absolutely pumping. Look at this. Medieval Empires is up actually 100% only today. That is beautiful. So if you guys haven't bought the Me token yet, it is over on Bybit, available for anyone to buy it. Yeah, personally, I've invested massively and heavily into this one, and I'm also playing the game every single day. And speaking of investing heavily, I'm also a massive investor in Custom, as you guys know, and massive pump today. Huge pump for Casa today. Absolutely beautiful. The bear market was very long, and I was holding the whole bear market. I still never sold a single token. I've been buying actually, and I've been telling you guys also to buy. Now is probably this is probably the last chance right now, the last final chance to buy Casta before we see the bull market and everything happening. Because I think the main reason why Casta is pumping because it has so much adoption in Europe. In Europe, you're seeing the K app getting traction like it's a bull market already, and that's why we're seeing the token go up. But it's nowhere near where it's going to be at the end of this bull market. So make sure that you load up some Casta as well. Also available over on Bybit. Yeah, guys, happy bull market. Like, leave a thumbs up, because if we reach 2,000 likes, then I will guarantee you guys tomorrow I'll make at least 3 videos. I love making videos during the bull market. This is the best time to do it, because I see that you guys enjoy the videos, you watch them, you like them, you share them. That's amazing. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter, follow my Telegram alert channel. All the links are down below. And sign up to Bitflix and Bybit. Those are the two best exchanges in crypto right now. And I'll see you guys also.
We want to thank the moon for this video and providing us this little example and education on it. We want to make sure that everybody understands that you don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions. I mean, of course, that helps far more. But just doing a DCA in and starting low and working your way up is the best way for most of us to go if you don't already have that disposable income ready. Is there anything you gentlemen would like to add as far as, like, giving advice on where people could pull some of their income and invest that way, and what might be a best strategy before I queue up the next video?
I got an easy one.
Okay.
Don't go to Starbucks.
Yeah, take some of that.
Day. That's $9 a day.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm just saying, think about that. It's $9 a day, or just easy numbers, $10. That's $50 a week. There you go. You're wasting your investment opportunity instead of going to Starbucks.
Very, very true. Thank you for that. Sean, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Just to be careful about the FOMO, that kind of intense pressure. The trend is your friend, so don't feel like, that works in reverse.
Like me.
Well, just don't be like, oh, I'm not going to buy now because I could have gotten in at 60 and now it's at 90. But if it's still trending up, whenever you get in, you're going to make out. And then likewise, if it's trending down, you got to get out before it trends down further. So focus more on the trend and the directionality than the actual price point, because as long as you're able to ride that trend in the right direction or hedge it correctly, that's how you're going to benefit.
I totally 100% agree with you. Shane Nolan goes, money, 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 money. Quoting that. I don't think that was ABBA, honey. What was that Motown band? What was that group? My God, money, money, money. Anyways, next one. Let's see. Uncle Gunn says, get out of debt, stay out of debt, take no loans, don't buy anything that you can't pay for in cash. That's also another way to handle stuff, and not necessarily the wrong way. So let's now take a look at altcoins are about to explode.
So let me throw out one thing before you start
Sure.
the video. The other is an idea to think about if you don't have spare savings to invest in this, is think of whether it's a side hustle or a job or something useful for other people you can do where they can pay you in crypto. If you could do something where people are paying you in crypto for providing them value, that's another way of getting into this without actually having to have that savings up front.
I agree with you on that 100%.
A great website for that is Fiverr. If you have a marketable skill, Fiverr. If you have a marketable skill, like say you're a musician, or you know how to write code, or you can do it, pictures, whatever kind of skill that you can monetize, Fiverr is a great website, and you can ask to get paid in crypto if you like. So
that's a great idea, and actually something we're going to start doing here at School of Thought. I'm going to put up the wallet link. So if you wanted to donate in, like, say, altcoin, my preferred one is ADA, Cardano. then you can do so.
I have personal friendships with certain lawmakers and certain people who are now members of the Trump administration.
Breaking news, altcoins gearing up for a very explosive 2025 as Cardano founder reveals he will be working directly with the Donald
OnlyFans.
Trump administration and others in Washington, D.C. for new, better crypto policy in 2025 and beyond.
I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time working with lawmakers in Washington, D.C., and quite a bit of time working with members of the administration to help foster and facilitate with other key leaders in industry the crypto policy. We have to do this and we have to get it done.
Could this be the Crypto Advisory Council Trump said he was going to put together in his first 100 days?
Upon taking office, I will immediately appoint a Bitcoin and Crypto Presidential Advisory Council. Their task will be to design transparent regulatory guidance for the benefit of the entire industry, and they will get it done in 100 days.
I shared this video with my friends who follow stuff like this. It seems very likely that we are about to enter a whole new era for cryptocurrency. Listen to this.
There's a very high probability that the Republicans will control not only the Senate and the presidency, but also the Congress, the House. And in the process of doing so, this is the best opportunity we have ever had in the history of the industry to get clarity for our industry and remove the sort of Damocles that the SEC has reigned over the Cardano ecosystem, Ripple ecosystem, the Ethereum ecosystem, reigned over Solana, reigned over all the major ecosystems, and actually including Bitcoin in many respects, despite the ETF approvals.
Look, it's great BlackRock and Wall Street are getting into crypto. Larry Fink and his friends are literally going to bring trillions of dollars of capital into this industry, but we need pro-crypto policy written by crypto natives.
None of us signed up to have companies like BlackRock dictate to the United States what the crypto policy should be. The crypto policy should be written by the American people, the American crypto industry, and by well-meaning lawmakers who are willing to take the time to listen. So we will establish at Input Output a policy office, and we're going to begin staffing that office, moving some personnel around, and hopefully by January, we can begin to participate in that process and work with certain key leaders in certain key positions and get to a point where we can hybridize many of the proposals, including Fit 21, including the Lummis bill, the FIA, and other such things, so that we can get a bipartisan bill passed that will give us absolute clarity of when things are securities and commodities, help us navigate the often tumultuous and chaotic waters of DeFi, and get us to a point where we can get back to business. So that's what we're going to focus on in 2025. We're going to get our growth and adoption where it needs to be, and we're going to make sure that we have solid policy so that we can move forward as a nation. As many of you know, I have personal friendships with certain lawmakers and certain people who are now members of the Trump administration. We hopefully will be able to have great dialogues with them in the coming months to put together some of this policy.
In other news, Wall Street is...
Let's welcome in Pyramid again. Good to see you. I don't remember if I said hello to Shane Nolan, our good buddy here and part of the crew. And Spittlebuggy says, I am wondering whom is the most beautiful wallet that can be used cross-platform. Well, right now I'm sticking with just Trust and Coinbase wallet. I have a cold one that I have not ever used yet because I'm afraid if I forget all the phrases somewhere, then, it'd be a horrible, horrible experience.
Really promoting Ethereum. It's like Amazon in the 1990s, they say. See, Wall Street is nice and allocated to Ethereum right now, and they're pumping their bags, and it's working. Breaking news, BlackRock's spot Ethereum ETF just clocked 60.3 million in inflows. This is the largest single-day Ethereum inflows in 94 days. Money is flowing into crypto from all over now.
It
We
sure
saw
is.
this coming. We showed this to you. Larry Fink has been hinting at his big crypto plans for a while now.
I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. These are just stepping stones towards tokenization. I really do believe this is where we're going to be going. We have the technology to tokenize today. This eliminates all corruption by having a tokenized system.
And we see Ethereum price is following. And if you want to make money in crypto and not miss big rallies like this, if you want to be best prepared for this upcoming bull run, make sure you follow us here at Altcoin Daily. It seems like Wall Street is finally letting their cards show. And of course, this is most likely on the heels of Trump's incoming presidency. Even the most staunched, most vocal Democrats who are in crypto, people like Mike Novogratz here, who didn't vote for Trump, even he, of course, admits the obvious, that for the crypto industry in the US, Donald Trump is the best outcome that could have happened. Listen.
I was not a president.
Hey, Pyramid, he says, I am going to check out Trust Wallet. Trust Wallet is good. Coinbase is even more. I think you can get even more tokens on Coinbase, but somebody can correct me because I could be wrong.
President Trump voter for lots of other reasons, but as a crypto guy, this is almost nirvana.
So what does Donald Trump presidency mean for crypto?
Listen, I think yesterday was probably the most important day for the cryptocurrency industry and for Galaxy as a company in years. And I say that because, we've suffered 4 years of regulatory purgatory. An administration that didn't appreciate our industry and was just starting to understand it some. So there was a thawing out that was happening. But Trump, listen, he went to Bitcoin Nashville, the big Super Bowl of Bitcoin conferences, and he laid down his vision, which was pro-crypto all the way, from not selling the Bitcoin that the government already owns to potentially a strategic reserve. Most importantly, I think we're going to get new heads of the SEC, the FDIC, the OCC, all these regulatory bodies that will allow custodians like State Street and Bank of New York, investment banks and other banks to hold crypto on their balance sheet. And as all these traditional players come into the market, it's going to bring in a tremendous amount of capital. And so I couldn't be more optimistic, actually. I was not a President Trump voter for lots of other reasons, but as a crypto guy, this is almost nirvana.
So we're really starting to see how...
You heard him. It's almost nirvana. Did you gentlemen have anything you wanted to add to this? Yes.
One thing I'm happy about, and I'm sure Sean's going to agree with me on this, Harris's move of taxing unrealized capital gains would have been the death of investing. That would have been insane if that would have passed. So I'm happy we don't have to deal with that crap, because that would have been rough for everybody.
Sean, did you have anything you wanted to say to that?
Well, so as far as Wall Street appearing to embrace crypto, I just want to emphasize that when you own a financial derivative like an ETF or an index fund, you don't actually own that asset. You owe a share of a unit investment trust that claims to own that asset, and reading the fine print on that is very important. If this is something you are planning on doing, why add extra intermediaries to the process? You could just go to Coinbase directly, for example, as opposed to getting the ETF through, a broker. I mean, that's more for these legacy systems just because of how their infrastructure is set up. But that also introduces more layers where things can go wrong. And anybody can see that for themselves. I'm sure, if it's been volatile to the up recently and you track real time, say Bitcoin compared to a Bitcoin ETF, you're going to see significant divergence in those prices, because even though they claim to strive to, an ETF tries to map an index or whatever it's representing, they actually have to do real work internally to create a market or to exercise on futures exchange in order to hit that target.
Yeah.
And when assets are very volatile, that becomes exponentially more difficult. So especially if this is meant to be some kind of hedge or protection for like an adverse event, you want to actually, again, there's just no reason to add intermediaries to that process, which is kind of what crypto started out as to begin with. The fact that we have crypto ETFs is kind of an odd, it seems like an oxymoron.
It does seem kind of weird also that I would understand ETFs if you don't know investing and you wanted to have an active manager to manage your funds, but there's only like a couple of them out there, so there's really not many options. So like it doesn't even make sense on the managed front.
Right. I mean, imagine the primary target for that is basically ERISA money. So money that's in IRAs and 401ks is what they're looking to be able to get into easily. And because it's already on their platform. So it's more about the infrastructure than it is about, I don't know, making actual sense. But at the same time, like the whole point of a technology like cryptocurrency is to try to revise that infrastructure. And that seems to be what these guys were talking about as well. Is I think they kind of know that as the boomers age out and they are in the redemption rather than the accumulation phase of their retirement savings, and that younger people really they're not interested in buying out those assets for a variety of reasons. Yeah. That for, something along the lines of publicly traded securities to survive the death of the boomers, there's going to have to be some kind of transition to more of a tokenization crypto form of those same structures. Like Caitlin Long has been talking about that forever, and she has an enormous depth of knowledge both in how traditional finance is settled as well as the crypto space, and is able to compare and contrast the two of them very well. But I imagine that's more Wall Street's interest, is same way that in the mid 70s, Wall Street would have to shut down every Wednesday just to keep up with the paperwork, because trading had become so much more active, like more participants in it. Those same kinds of transaction costs, which crypto is designed to eliminate, is likely going to be a big part of. They're going to want to move that infrastructure to something more like crypto as opposed to traditional finance.
Well, the other thing with traditional finance is...
Hold on, gentlemen. Let me say hi to the chat one more time. OSAF, giggity, giggity, giggity. I saw you earlier. Hi, welcome in again. Quantum Wave Pattern. Wonderful globes. Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Shrapnel. Star, I see boobies. Yes, they're there. All right. Go ahead, Bandit. And then we're going to
I was just saying,
video.
The other thing is Wall Street's going to need crypto more than people realize, because the industry standard is going to be T+0 by next year. And in order to get those trades to be settled as fast, you're going to need the blockchain. It's the only way you're going to be able to do that securely enough. So the funny thing is that the more demand that for people to get faster and faster trades, they're actually going to have to embrace crypto for it to work.
Yeah. Crypto is definitely going to be a tremendous part in our futures. For sure. All right. We're going to hit play on the video one more time, okay?
Wall Street is positioning now. VanEck's CEO speaks on the altcoin market. He says, 1, Ethereum is a contrarian play right now. 2, this is a good entry point for ETH. And 3, Ethereum will be one of the big winners. Listen to this.
There are other ways to play the crypto space. There's stocks like Coinbase. There are other coins and tokens and things like Ether.
Uncle Guns says, and I'm reading this because it's funny, I invest solely in MILF coin. Well, that's definitely a good investment coin there, Uncle Guns.
Doge now gets a lot of mention. Would you be an advocate of all of that as well?
Well, what I've said, Bitcoin is sort of digital gold to me, and it's a store of value asset. What I've said about Ethereum is don't buy it unless you really understand its business proposition and its competitors, the other databases that might be the rails for crypto. I do think, however, that overall, big picture, stable coins are the new global payment system. And one of the big winners is going to be Ethereum. Ethereum's market share kind of bottomed. And
Okay, Uncle Guns is starting something. Everybody's like, love MILFs. And then General, welcome in. Okay, MILF coin, he's all about it.
September, we look at stuff like that. And so it's a little bit of a contrarian play. Ethereum has outperformed over the last several weeks. And I think it's a good entry point actually for Ethereum if you understand the pros and cons of it.
So yeah, I do think Ethereum's price is about to do a little catch up. $10,000 Ethereum price this cycle is on the table. I don't think it's the most likely outcome. It really depends on if Bitcoin can do big numbers this cycle. Like if Bitcoin can do what the VanEck CEO and founder thinks that it can do, I think 10,000 Ethereum would then be likely if this happens.
I think Bitcoin.
Oh my goodness, if Bitcoin hits well over $100,000, you can bank your sweet booty that Ethereum is more than likely going to go way past that number of 10K. What do you two gentlemen think? Are you there? You're not there? Okay, they're on a potty break.
I'm here. I just wanted me to run the video.
I'm gonna put you in the dunce corner. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, tell me.
Well, the thing is, if Bitcoin goes up, it brings everybody else up. It's the mover of all coins. So
yes,
if Bitcoin goes up, it brings everybody else up. If Bitcoin goes down, everything else goes down. So
yes,
especially it's just
crypto.
riding the wave at this point.
Yes, especially Ethereum crypto, because that one is being heavily used for a blockchain. So yeah.
Is my mic still not working?
It's working now. I hear you.
Oh, okay, good. So I just wanted to add in, he mentioned stable coins, and then the way he couched that was a little confusing because he transitioned to talk about Ethereum. I guess because a lot of stable coins are built on Ethereum.
Yeah.
The thing I want to point out about stable coins is they're meant to be stable. That doesn't mean that they are stable. The very nature of how a stablecoin is designed is exactly the way that a currency peg is designed. It's exactly the way that when people try to corner a market or how open market operations for treasuries works, it relies on, again, being able to control the price based on controlling the market of whatever that asset is. The same way that during the 2008 crash, money market funds so-called broke the buck, because that's like a stable coin or a currency peg where a dollar in a money market is supposed to represent a dollar. When it dipped below that, suddenly there's huge issues in the way the banking works because they actually have to construct that on the back end, and when they couldn't because of volatility in the market, people lost a ton of money. Be very wary of how stable coins are constructed. For the same reason that you want to be careful about how ETFs are constructed and a lot of these other synthetic derivative assets. There's a lot of risk baked into them that tends to get glossed over because the people who are running them are trying to exude confidence in order to get people to use them. And if anything, that's all the more reason to be careful with them.
I agree with you. Selfmade says, when Bitcoin dumps, altcoin season is in full force, and it sure is. Get back to our video.
Bitcoin's going to hit all-time highs. It hit them today, and I think it's going further, right? My basic premise.
Jan VanEck is the CEO of VanEck Associates. Jan, it's great to have you. And when you're probably asked as much as I am if Bitcoin's going to 100,000 next, what would you say?
Kelly, happy Friday. I think Bitcoin's going to hit all-time highs. It hit them today, and I think it's going further, right? My basic premise is that ultimately Bitcoin's value will be half of that of all the gold outstanding. So you're talking about something like $300,000 for Bitcoin.
The global shift that is happening around Bitcoin and crypto is undeniable. The state of Florida is now officially on board with Trump's national Bitcoin stockpile. Florida's CIO says it's a great idea for the U.S. and it's a great idea for Florida.
You think that the government's going to continue to print too much money? You think Bitcoin is a way for Floridians to maintain purchasing power?
Thank you for making those points, because that's exactly where our head is on this. We look at the the failed policies of Washington. I hope President Trump is going to be able to turn around, but I don't think it's going to happen overnight. He's walking into a real mess. But we need to be able to have a hedge against this massive overreach by the federal government with a centralized currency. Look, I don't want the federal government knowing when my son went to the grocery store to go buy a bag of Doritos at 2:15 in the afternoon. So we need to have some protections in place. And I think where we make it a welcome and interesting expansion of dialogues in Florida, and maybe even a greater expansion. We have about $800 million in crypto-related investments in our state portfolio, but I would not be shocked to be able to see that growing under a Trump administration in the near future.
And you think that en masse in the country, that the U.S. Crypto is just going to become more important in terms of almost a sovereign fund, or in pension plans and retirement plans for government employees, Jimmy?
Look, as a fiduciary, I think it's very important. Look, I've got firefighters, I've got teachers, I've got state employees that were trustees over their pension. I need to make sure that we're doing everything humanly possible to get the best return on their investment. And if we're not being open-minded to what crypto can do to diversify that portfolio, shame on us. So again, it's a direction that we're going to start to push. We're going to be prepared to seize the opportunities presented by, just as your show has been speaking to earlier, the change of what the administration can bring in the future financial outlook of our country, our world. And Florida is going to be prepared to do the most for our fiduciary responsibilities that we take so seriously.
Hey, if you like videos like this, make sure you subscribe to Altcoin Daily. We post one video every day. We give you an edge in crypto. Subscribe to our channel, turn notifications on, join our team.
Ultimately, you get a supply of Bitcoin held by the U.S.
We want to thank Altcoin Daily for sharing this stream with us. Did you gentlemen have anything that you wanted to say before we queue up our last video for the evening?
I'm good.
You good? Sean,
yeah,
are we good?
No, go for it.
We're good. Okay, so now we're going to queue up this really wonderful speech with all these wonderful intentions, right? Let's get this queued up. Present. Yay, Trump.
Then we just don't have a free, if we don't have free speech, then we just don't have a free country. It's as simple as that. If this most fundamental right is allowed to perish, then the rest of our rights and liberties will topple. Just like dominoes, one by one, they'll go down. That's why today I'm announcing my plan to shatter the left-wing censorship regime and to reclaim the right to free speech for all Americans. And reclaim is a very important word in this case because they've taken it away. In recent weeks, bombshell reports have confirmed that a sinister group of deep state bureaucrats, Silicon Valley tyrants, left-wing activists, and depraved corporate news media have been conspiring to manipulate and silence the American people. They have collaborated to suppress vital information on everything from elections to public health. The censorship cartel must be dismantled and destroyed, and it must happen immediately. And here's my plan. First, within hours of my inauguration, I will sign an executive order banning any federal department or agency from colluding with any organization, business, or person to censor, limit, categorize, or impede the lawful speech of American citizens. I will then ban federal money from being used to label domestic speech as mis or disinformation. And I will begin the process of identifying and firing every federal bureaucrat who has engaged in domestic censorship, directly or indirectly, whether they are the Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Health, Human Services, the FBI, the DOJ, no matter who they are. Second, I will order the Department of Justice to investigate all parties involved in the new online censorship regime, which is absolutely destructive and terrible, and to aggressively prosecute any and all crimes identified. These include possible violations of federal civil rights law, campaign finance laws, federal election law, securities law and antitrust laws, the Hatch Act, and a host of other potential criminal, civil, regulatory, and constitutional offenses. To assist in these efforts, I am urging House Republicans to immediately send preservation letters, and we have to do this right now, to the Biden administration, the Biden campaign, and every Silicon Valley tech giant, ordering them not to destroy evidence of censorship. Third, upon my inauguration as president, I will ask Congress to send a bill to my desk revising Section 2.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. This is just everything that we need, isn't it? Isn't this everything that we need? God bless America. That's right.
230 to get big online platforms out of censorship business. From now on, digital platforms should only qualify for immunity protection under Section 230 if they meet high standards of neutrality, transparency, fairness, and non-discrimination. We should require these platforms to increase their efforts to take down unlawful content such as child exploitation and promoting terrorism, while dramatically curtailing their power to arbitrarily restrict lawful speech. Fourth, we need to break up the entire toxic censorship industry that has arisen under the false guise of tackling so-called mis- and disinformation. The federal government should immediately stop funding all nonprofits and academic programs that support this authoritarian project. If any U.S. university is discovered to have engaged in censorship activities or election interferences in the past, such as flagging social media content for removal of blacklisting, those universities should lose federal research dollars and federal student loan support for a period of 5 years and maybe more. We should also enact new laws laying out